Hey everyone, I hope you guys had a nice Thanksgiving break and enjoyed time off. So I just wanted to come back today, this week. I took last week off and give you a market update. So for the first time ever, the cost of a single family home in Fairfax County is now over $1 million. So the average sales price of a home in Fairfax County is now $1,034,000. This time last year, it was about $875,000. Now, our sales from this time last year are down about 7.9%, and that's again because of the lack of inventory. So there's just not as many houses for sale for people to buy. So those are some of the market updates. But yeah, we're basically, I think, up about 18% with that increase in sales price to over $1 million. So that's crazy. So I was at the Toll Brothers model today out in Lena Mill, which is in Aldi, and they basically have nothing for sale. I think I talked about this before. They're not going to open. They have like 33 lots left. They're opening them end of January, early February. Right now, the model home is for sale of the Carolina collection, which is, there's the Executives, which is here, and the Carolina is just a little bit under it. So the model home is coming, is for sale, and it's one thing about models is they actually sell them furnished, which is an interesting thing, which I actually just learned this because I have a client who buys model homes and then rents them back to the builder until they do their final closeout, and then he takes possession of the property and he generally sells it. He has some in Charlottesville that I think he rented, but a lot of times he sells them. And what's interesting is his wife, she's like, oh, we go in there and we pick out the furniture we want and we keep it. I had no idea that was a thing, that when you buy the model home, it comes with the furniture. So the model home is $1,499,950. It's about 5,070 square feet home. It's available January 2022. 4 bedrooms, 4 full baths, 2 half baths. I went in it. It's very well done. You know, they always do the custom moldings, and they had the see-through fireplace from the family room to the office area. They have, the way they're doing screened-in porches now, I just love. It's like basically a wall that's like a screen, and so you have no obstruction with wood or anything. And that also had an outdoor fireplace, and then you outside there was a whole patio area with a built-in fire pit and all that good stuff. And then the basement was finished, and it had a really nice bar area, you know, with a dishwasher and the works. So that was really, really nice. It was a walk-up basement, and then the master suite was really nice with the extra large shower tub. Sorry, not the primary bedroom. I've got 17 years. I got to retrain my brain on this. Don't mean to offend anyone. So anyways, so if that's something you're interested in, you just bring your clothes and your toothbrush and you move right in for basically we'll call it 1.5 million. Lovely house. I went in it. Great lot. So I'll be happy to share that information with anyone. I was actually there to look at a different property, like in the estates collections, and those aren't even going to be, they're not even releasing the lots until end of January or early February. But while I was there, because I have another client looking for a single family up to like $1 million. So I said, are you guys building? Toll Brothers, major big boy builder, you know. So they said, no, these are the last lots we have right now in Virginia for single family homes. We're going to build some in Maryland in 2022, but all we have is townhouses and condos. And I, was asking in the million. So basically you can apparently now get a new construction townhouse for $1 million. So that's all they had to offer, which is crazy. It's like the first time ever that there just hasn't even been builder inventory. And that's a huge builder we're talking about. I think Willisford is closed out. So, I mean, there was all this land in Loudoun. I mean, nobody even knew what Loudoun was when I was growing up. But anyway, so Loudoun's still more affordable. They haven't hit the 1 million average sales price for a single family home yet, but Arlington, Alexandria, City of Falls Church, and now Fairfax County have. So one of the biggest questions I'm going to move on to is a new partnership that I started with EasyKnock. What's really difficult for a lot of my clients is they have to sell their home first to buy a new one, and they don't want to be homeless. So, we can usually do like a 60-day closing period with a 60-day rent back, and that's, so that buys you like 4 months to find another house. But, it can take you like a year with these bidding wars and things, unless you can find a house that maybe isn't perfect, it's been on the market for a little bit. So I now have a partnership. I had to go through a whole process to apply with EasyKnock. And basically what EasyKnock does is they basically buy your house from you, and then you rent it back for them at market rate for 12 months. You can up to 12 months. I mean, if you only need it for 2 months, if you need it 4 months, but up to 12 months is the maximum. And you pay them whatever the market rent is, and we do a whole comps on that and stuff. So you can get your money out of the house, so you can do a non-contingent contract on your purchase, or, maybe you can, what you're selling, you can buy a house with all cash, which looks amazing. Obviously, there's a cost of doing this because you're using someone else's money, but they'll work with houses that will sell from 100,000, which we don't really have that here, to $1.5 million. So if your house is worth $2 million, they don't offer this to you. You have to have a loan to value of 70%, and what that means is that your house has to, if you have a house that's $100,000, your mortgage has to be $70,000 or less. It can't be $90,000. So that's what the 70% loan to value means. So you have to have at least 30% equity in the house is, I guess, the best way to put that. Population density of 300 or more people per square mile. Obviously, we have 1 million people in Fairfax County, so we passed that one. Single family home or condo of at least 700 square, it has to be at least 700 square feet, which most of the properties I sell are at least 700 feet. So that's not a big deal. And then they'll deal with a wide range of credit scores, income types, debt to income ratios. But again, you would go get pre-approved for your house, because honestly, if you don't have the debt to income or the credit score to purchase another home, then you wouldn't even do this anyway, right? Because there's no point, right? So they do a third-party appraisal at the beginning just to figure out what the market value of your home is, and they will give you up to 90% of that value, and that's just to cover them in case your house sells for less than market value. So that's why they do that. And they do a home inspection up front, which is kind of what, if you're doing a relo, the relo company always makes you do a home inspection up front, and they make you fix everything because they don't want to deal with it. So it works like that. So basically, there's obviously a cost of doing this, and here it's going to be, so the range is 3.9. So basically 4 to 5% of the sales price is what they charge you to get this money up front. And generally it's based on the house. So here the average sales price is over $600,000. So most likely you're going to be paying on the higher end, the 5%. And, you know, you pay your normal closing costs as well when you close your house. So basically what happens is they give you the money up front. You then start paying them whatever the market rent is. I list your home as if I normally would. You're going to get charged the same commissions and closing costs that you would normally have to pay when I sell your home. And so you do that. We have up to 12 months. If I can't sell your house in 12 months, and there's bigger issues, that means like it's either haunted or there's just some terrible thing going on, or there's structural damage or something that no one's going to buy it. So anyway, so we would sell that. And then let's say, you know, their appraisal comes in lower and we sell your house for $50,000 more, right? You still get that money. It's not like they are buying your house out and that's the amount you get and they get the rest. No, you get, if your house sells, we list it for, you know, they comes at $1 million, we sell it for 1.2, that $200,000 is still yours. So that's how that works. And so that's just something I'm offering people now because I know it's stressful. People don't want to do 2 moves because when you do 2 moves, you have to, you know, you have to pay to move your stuff out of the house. You have to pay to move it into wherever you're moving to or into storage. And if you move it into the temporary house, and then once you find a house, then you got to move again. So that's like 3 moves and it gets expensive. So you're saving the cost of that too. So if you factor that into whatever the fee is that you're paying to sort of use their money, then, you know, it may all, you know, work out in the end where it's not going to be as much as you think it is. Or if you know, I've had people live in Airbnbs, I've had people live in hotels, I've had people find short-term rentals. So, or they buy an investment property, like they buy a condo and they go live in it until they can find the house they're moving into, and then they just use the condo as a investment property. So that's, you know, a scenario too as well. So anyway, so I just wanted to share that with you. And a lot of people are asking about investment properties and that kind of thing. And so if you don't need the money out of your house, and let's say you own a condo or smaller townhouse and you saved up money for the down payment and stuff, a lot of people are turning their what's right now their primary residence into an investment property because they've owned it since, you know, the early 2000s or whatever, and they have a ton of equity, and they've paid it down and they've refinanced, and so when they rent it out, they can more than cover their mortgage and HOA or condo fees. So that's another question that I've been getting asked a lot for people who want to get into that as well. Or a real estate investment trust, which is where you own properties with other people in a portfolio. If you want to get into the investment property game and you just don't have the cash to do it, it's a good way to do it, and I'm happy to help you with that. I have also done ones where people turn their 401k into investment property, and it goes through a specific account, so you don't pay taxes, and then all the rent goes in that account and that kind of thing. So that's another way to do it if you don't have a ton of cash but you want to get into the real estate investing game. So anyways, that is my update for this week. Obviously stuff isn't really changing. We've moved into a even lower inventory situation. People just don't list their houses between Thanksgiving and the New Year. You know, it gets a lot slower. Another thing I'll tell you is, like, I have clients all looking in the $2 to $3 million range, and there'll be a house that's been on the market for 60 days, and it's like they want to do a low ball offer, and I'm like, you can't do that. Everyone whose house is over $2 million, they sign year-long listing agreements because they know their house isn't going to sell in a weekend. And so they're not going to budge on price. Like I just showed up a house that was like $3.4 million. It's been on the market for a year. It's an amazing home, Colorado room. I mean, just the walls are like this wide. I mean, it's amazing. And just all the architectural details, phenomenally done. And so I asked the agent, I was like, oh, have you gotten, she's like, yeah, we've gotten 3 offers, but my client's not budging on price. I mean, they've already moved out of state. I'm bought a similar price point house. I know, must be nice to own $7 million for the houses and be paying 2 mortgages. But yeah, they're not willing to budge on price. So a lot of people will ask me that, well, can I just go in lower? And I'm like, no, you can't do that. They're not going to entertain it. They fully well know it's going to take years for their house to sell. So just thought I'd throw that out there too, since it was on my brain. But anyways, I hope everyone has a great weekend, and hopefully I'll be back on next week with some new and interesting real estate factoids. And as always, call, text, or email me if you have a question or there's something you want me to discuss. I'm happy to do the research and give you the knowledge. So have a great weekend. Thanks.